Hello everyone, this is Tetsuya. Thank you so much for watching my video again today. Today, I would like to introduce why I go to Malaysia more often than Thailand, Singapore, and Indonesia. Actually, I am a frequent visitor to Malaysia, Thailand, Singapore, and Indonesia. I like or love all these countries. But among these four countries, I go to Malaysia the most frequently. What do you think about the reason why I go to Malaysia most frequently out of these four countries? Malaysia is extremely attractive to me, and its attractiveness outstands in these four countries. So today I would like to introduce why I love Malaysia in the 6 factors. So let me get started. 1. Everything is reasonable. Compared to Japan, the price of the things in Malaysia is much lower. Of course, at this point, the same applies to Thailand and Indonesia, but other factors take important roles, and I will mention them. As for Singapore, though Singapore is a really great country and greater country than Japan in many aspects, as I am introducing in other videos like this, one of the few weaknesses of Singapore is the price of the things. Not about everything, of course, but the price in Singapore is generally really high too. My subjective score I add to each country at this point is this. 2. Everyone speaks good English in big cities. At this point, there is a huge difference among four countries. In big cities in Malaysia, such as Kuala Lumpur, people speak really good English. This makes my stay in Malaysia really easy and also create a lot of fun in many occasions. In Thailand and Indonesia, the people are generally really nice and lovely, but they usually speak little English, like Japanese people. Of course, when it comes to Singapore, they speak great English. So at this point, my subjective score I add to each country is this. 3. Amazing ethnicity combination. In all four countries, the ethnicity diversity is huge, especially in Indonesia. In Indonesia, there are 1,340 recognized ethnicities. So it is extremely diverse. But when it comes to Malaysia, Malaysia has 3 distinctive ethnicities who occupy over 95% of Malaysian population. They are Malay people, Chinese people, and Indian people. They have totally different and distinctive culture each, and they all look totally different in their appearances. Also in big cities, each ethnicity's population is large, so they are everywhere. So they create an amazing society, showing their differences clearly in the same place, and even for me, a foreigner, it is pretty easy to distinguish who is which ethnicity and which culture is which ethnicity's one. If we see the different ethnicities' language in the city like this, it is amazing and pretty fun very often to foreigners. There would be no other countries where 3 totally different local people's languages plus English is shown in the same board of a shop. This clear differences makes many other things interesting, and I really love it. The continuous Japanese visitors in Malaysia often love this form of diversity. So my subjective score I add to each country at this point is this. 4. Food is extremely great. I just love Malaysian food. Of course, Malaysian people of different ethnicity strongly and clearly inherit their each ethnicity's culture. So it is very hard for me to define what is Malaysian food. But I can say everything we can try in Malaysia is usually really good. And because of a clearly different inherited ethnicity's culture, the food of each ethnicity is authentic. So if you visit Malaysia, you can try authentic Chinese food, Indian food, and Malay food, which originated from Indonesian food. And furthermore, fusion food of Malay and Chinese people is also very good. Since we can try all these authentic food in Malaysia, we don't have to go to 3 countries to try these different kinds of food. Of course, in Thailand and Indonesia, there are many kinds of great food as well. But in my personal impression as a foreigner, I cannot distinguish their food based on the different ethnicities like Malaysian food at a glance. They look really mixed actually. As for Singapore, the same kind of food is available like in Malaysia. but the price becomes a bit higher, even at food court, and the variety also looks a bit less than Malaysia in my personal impression, so I might have not explored enough yet. Anyway, my subjective score at this point to each country is this. 5. Extremely easy to move around. I like the public transportation systems in Malaysia, especially in KL. Train system plus Grab, it's like a Uber service, are extremely useful because they cover any area. They are very cheap. And when it comes to Grab drivers in Malaysia, they can normally speak good English. So I can explain something in details when necessary, especially when I indicate the point I want to take a Grab. I mean the pickup point. If the driver can understand English, it is very, very convenient. Of course, I also like Thailand, Indonesia, and Singapore. But in case of Thailand and Indonesia, English is normally not available when I take a Grab or a similar service. In case of Singapore, no problem in English, but the price of Grab is slightly expensive. So MRT and buses are normally sufficient to move around anywhere in Singapore. Anyway, in case of Malaysia, both the reasonable price and English availability are combined. It is just great to me. Whenever I take Grab, I always enjoy speaking with the Grab drivers as well. This is also possible because they speak good English. Speaking with Grab drivers is a very interesting experience as well. So my subjective score I add to this point is this. 6. Over 100 friends in Malaysia. Actually, this is my personal factor, but this factor has very big advantages. Whenever I go to Malaysia, I visit my friends' houses. Visiting my friends' houses give me the following 3 really fun experiences. If you have been to other countries' friends' house and have seen inside, you'd have had a great cultural experience inside their houses. So as for this factor 6, I am going to introduce 4 advantages of visiting Malaysian friends' houses. So 6.1. Seeing their large and beautiful houses. My Malaysian friends' houses are big, and inside their houses are so beautiful, very decorated. It is extremely nice to enter and see such nice houses. 6.2. Some of my Malaysian friends let me stay at their houses. If I stay, I can also experience local people's lives, which is one of the very best experience I love when I visit other countries. I sometimes follow my friends' children to their kindergarten, primary school, etc. It's a fantastic experience. 6.3. My friends offer homemade Malaysian food at their houses. This is an extremely fun and interesting experience while staying in other countries generally, but especially in Malaysia. When I visit my friends' houses of different ethnicities, they offer different ethnicities food. When it happens, not only do I really enjoy the different kinds of food, but I also enjoy seeing how they cook their food, what kind of kitchen utensils they have, etc. When I enter my Indian Malaysian friend's house, I saw these Indian cooking utensils. It was very, very interesting. 6.4. My friends of different ethnicities have different religions. So when I enter their houses, I can see different religious items in their houses, which is extremely interesting. These are in Malay friends' houses. This is Chinese friend, and this is Indian friend. They follow different religions, so what they place at houses are different. So my subjective score I add to this point to each country is this. This is pretty subjective because I just have different number of friends in each country. Well, as you can see, in Malaysia, a lot of factors are supporting each other to create the greatest value in my personal feeling. The reasonable price of things supports the food price, public transportation cost, and any other cost. English availability makes it easy to move around by myself anywhere in the city by asking the way in English to Malaysian strangers, directing Grab drivers the pickup point accurately. And additionally, it allows me to communicate with great deal of local Malaysian people anywhere. Amazing ethnicity combination make Malaysian food so unique and bring delicious and authentic food from three ethnicities. It makes my experience of visiting different ethnicities' friends' houses so interesting and exciting. A great number of my Malaysian friends give me so unique and valuable experiences during my visit to Malaysia. I enjoy the Islamic event, Ramadan, and Hari Raya, which is also called Eid Mubarak in Arabic. So all these factors and their combination make me visit Malaysia so frequently. To me, Malaysia is my home country like Japan. In my future video, I will also make what I like about Malaysia. Thank you so much for listening to my video patiently up until here. See you soon in other videos.